Jimmy Carter aspired to make government competent and compassionate, responsive to the American people and their expectations. His achievements were notable, but in an era of rising energy costs, mounting inflation, and continuing tensions, it was impossible for his administration to meet these high expectations. Carter, the 39th President of the United States, was born October 1, 1924, in the small farming town of Plains, Georgia, and he grew up in the nearby community of Archery. His father, James Earl Carter Sr., was a farmer and businessman. His mother, Lillian Gordy, a registered nurse. He was educated in the Plains Public Schools, attended Georgia Southwestern College and the Georgia Institute of Technology, and received a B.S. degree from the United States Naval Academy in 1946. In the Navy, he became a submariner, serving in both the Atlantic and Pacific fleets and rising to the rank of lieutenant. Chosen by Admiral Hyman Rickover for the nuclear submarine program, he was assigned to Schenectady, New York, where he took graduate work at Union College in reactor technology and nuclear physics, and served as senior officer of the pre-commissioning crew of the Seawolf, the second nuclear submarine. On July 7, 1946, he married Rosalind Smith of Plains. When his father died in 1953, he resigned his naval commission and returned with his family to Georgia.
Mr. President, Mr. Speaker, members of the 95th Congress, ladies and gentlemen. 2 years ago today, we had the first caucus in Iowa. And 1 year ago tomorrow, I walked from here to the White House to take up the duties of President of the United States. I didn't know it then when I walked, but I've been trying to save energy ever since. I return tonight to fulfill one of those duties of the Constitution, to give to the Congress and to the nation information on the state of the Union. Militarily, politically, economically, and in spirit, the state of our Union is sound.
He was educated in the Plains Public Schools, attended Georgia Southwestern College and the Georgia Institute of Technology, and received a B.S. degree from the United States Naval Academy in 1946. In the Navy, he became a submariner, serving in both the Atlantic and Pacific fleets and rising to the rank of lieutenant.
We are a confident people and a hard-working people, a decent and a compassionate people, and so we will remain. I want to speak to you tonight about where we are and where we must go, about what we have done and what we must do. And I want to pledge to you my best efforts and ask you to pledge yours. Each generation of Americans has to face circumstances, not of its own choosing, but by which its character is measured and its spirit is tested. There are times of emergency when a nation and its leaders must bring their energies to bear on a single urgent task. That was a duty Abraham Lincoln faced when our land was torn apart by conflict in the war between the states. That was a duty faced by Franklin Roosevelt when he led America out of an economic depression, and again when he led America to victory in war.
He took over the Carter Farms, and he and Rosalind operated Carter's Warehouse in Plains, a general-purpose seed and farm supply company. He quickly became a leader of the community, serving on county boards, supervising education, the hospital authority, and the library. In 1962, he won election to the Georgia Senate. He lost his first gubernatorial campaign in 1966, but won the next election, becoming Georgia's 76th governor on July 12, 1971. He was the Democratic National Committee campaign chairman for the 1974 congressional and gubernatorial elections. On December 12, 1974, Carter announced his candidacy for President of the United States. He won his party's nomination on the first ballot at the 1976 Democratic National Convention, and was elected president on November 2, 1976. Jimmy Carter served as president from January 20, 1977 to January 20, 1981. Significant foreign policy accomplishments of his administration included the Panama Canal Treaties, the Camp David Accords, the Treaty of Peace between Egypt and Israel, the SALT II Treaty with the Soviet Union, and the establishment of U.S. diplomatic relations with the People's Republic of China. He championed human rights throughout the world. On the domestic side, the administration's achievements included a comprehensive energy program conducted by a new Department of Energy, deregulation in energy, transportation, communications, and finance, major educational programs under a new Department of Education, and major environmental protection legislation, including the Alaska National Interest Lands on Conservation Act. President Carter is the author of 17 books, many of which are Why Not the Best?, A Government as Good as Its People, Keeping Faith Memoirs of a President, Negotiation, Everything to Gain, Making the Most of the Rest of Your Life, written with Rosalind Carter. An outdoor journal, Always a Reckoning, The Little Baby Snoogle Fleeger, illustrated by Amy Carter, Living Faith, and the Nobel Peace Prize Lecture. In 2003, he published his first novel, The Hornet's Nest, a story of the American Revolution. In 1982, he became University Distinguished Professor at Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia, and founded the Carter Center. Actively guided by President Carter, the nonpartisan and nonprofit center addresses national and international issues of public policy.